When I found you, I found somebody who cares. When I found you, found my most intimate prayer. When I found you, I found what every heart dreams of. When I found you, I found love.
Hello guys, my names are Harin and Oluwale, aka Benjamin's girlfriend.
Hi, I'm Maureen's boyfriend, and my name is Baba Wale Benjamin Uluwale.
We met on a prayer line. So I was just coming out of a relationship, a broken engagement, and I was pretty much tired of life. So I decided to give God a try. And my 6-month-old son and I, we were living with my mom at that time. And I decided to just go deep in Christ and fully give my life to Him because depression had hit, right? And my best friend told me about this prayer line that she's joining every day. And she just told me that there's this church that she attends, and there's an assistant pastor there that does a prayer line. So I did a 3-day fasting, first time ever, no food, no water. And funny enough, the fasting was because I was asking God to bring my ex back. I know, right? God has a sense of humor. And I joined the prayer line after I did my fasting, and the pastor prayed for me. But in my mind, I thought it was like an older guy. So he just prayed for me, and that's the first time I met him.
And I met her through the prayer line. She was so energetic on the prayer line, and she always asked questions when it was time for Bible study, and always asking, always wanting to know God. And I was just coming also from a broken relationship. It was like we also had the wedding then. 3 months before then, it was broken, and I was also going through my stuff. But prayer was just keeping me, and God actually brought her to the prayer line, and a lovely voice, an energetic and lively personality, always asking questions, wanting to know more. You know, that is what caught my attention. And from then it has been a wonderful journey till now.
I believe that when you become mature as a woman, you go for not what makes you feel good, but you go for what helps you grow. So when I met my husband, he was someone that I knew he would help me grow spiritually. Most of the time, God tells us that He will grant us the desires of our heart, but He will also grant us what we need and not what we want. So, in my experience with my other relationships and now being a new mom, I understood that I need someone that would bring balance to my life. Not only was I in love with him, but I wanted someone that could push me to be a better person. Most of the time, when you're a girl, not a woman, you go for what makes you feel good. But when you mature into a woman, you understand, especially being a mom, now you understand that you're not just living for yourself, but you're living also for the children. So he was someone that came into my life in a time where I understood what was meant when God said, two is better than one. He'll be able to help me raise, our son in the way of the Lord. He'll be able to bring balance into our relationship, into our marriage. So just him being who he was in Christ and the way he feared God, the way he respected me. I mean, the way he was kind to me, the way he was very open to me. I think all of those things were the green flags that I as a woman wanted. And I realized that he was very particular about taking care of Gabriel and I. It was never about, it's all about you. It was about Gabriel and you. So he understood that he was coming into this relationship to marry my son and I, not just me.
Well, my first impression about her is she's full of life, very lively and loving. And that was what I was looking for, because I was just coming off out of a relationship that I was the one loving and loving. So she she was a match because she came with the kind of energy I actually wanted, and I spotted that. And I love for God. She really wanted to learn the things of God because she has tasted the world and find out that there was nothing in there, and so she really wanted to know God. But in the previous one I was in, that one was in the church, but just want to go to the world. So it was like, okay, this one want to know more of God, and I also want to know more of God. Then we can travel, and the journey was in love, and that is what that major stuff that attracted me to her.
Okay, so my first impression about him was I thought he was an older guy because I know that most of the time, people that are sold out for Christ are mostly older people, right? That they have lived life and been in the world for a while, and then now they want to come to Christ. So when I found out he was like in his early 30s, I was like, what? And then I saw a picture of him and he was fine. He was really handsome, so that helped me. That helped. He was very easy on the eyes. And I think what really caught my attention was one, his passion for God. Two, he was handsome and he still is handsome. And three, he loved my son. Like, there was something about how connected he was with my son. Every time we spoke on the phone, he would always ask about Gabriel. And he was always praying for Gabriel. So for me, that just made me understand that it's not only somebody I want to get married to, and he's marrying, my son and I. So those were the three things that caught my attention.
Well, number one thing is God. I had a dream about her, and God speaking to me about the future, and that made me decide that I'm going to be in it because God is in it. And two, I love for God. You can't really love somebody that doesn't know how to love God. So if they know how to love God, they know how to love you. So I love for God also was one. Then a beauty also, you know, she was so beautiful in and out. And also she was understanding because she met me at my very, very downtime. And she was there with me all through, and willing to accept me the way I was at that time and willing for us to grow together. So she was a double package, even with my son coming in. So that was something. I love children. So that coming into place make me, just have what I actually envisionalize coming into reality at a goal in her. So she was a double package. Yeah.
I wouldn't really call them worse, but I would say the third year of our marriage, we had a miscarriage. And we have been trying to have a baby for about 3 years together. So we had some, we kept waiting. And the third year, we had a miscarriage. So that was really, really hard on our marriage. And by the grace of God, we have four children together, but three biological with him. But I think that was the hardest part. And then the second one is just understanding ministry as a pastor's wife. I think that's something that most people don't really talk about, but trying to get the balance of me growing up in America and me being very acatarized, if that's even a term, and then him growing in Nigeria and then coming into ministry, and especially the Pentecostal setting. My beliefs are not as welcomed into the church like, the Yoruba culture would accept it. So I think it was just me trying to maneuver being a pastor's wife, also being a leader in the church, and me trying to not lose myself in being a minister of Christ and still being realistic, because I'm that pastor that I will talk about weed. I will talk about sex. I will talk about the things that other ministers might shy away from talking about. But I come from a world where I used to smoke weed. I used to smoke, Black and Miles. I used to drink. So a lot of people that are not in the church and that want to come to the church, maybe that's their reality. So I don't speak about conventional things. So I think for our marriage, it was just that balance of not being understood. But he was very supportive. There were times where he was supportive even when he didn't understand what I was going through. But I think it's something I had to deal with because it was bringing a lot of issues in the ministry.
I'm going to talk about how we handle finances in marriage, and this has been an issue in many marriages. And I want to say, if you have given somebody your life, you should be able to give them also trust them with your money. And finances is so important because it can make the marriage to flourish, or it can totally destroy the marriage. And putting money together helps for accountability. Having the same bank account, having the same, bank account to look at finances. Because we've seen instances in marriage whereby we're counseling people, we find out that somebody is sending money that ought to be beneficiary to to the marriage out, and so draining the marriage, and the marriage fail because of that. So imagine someone can see, when I'm spending too much, my wife can see, oh, where is it going to? We have this budget. So it's called check and balance. So finances, having finances together help to check and balance, in marriage. And it helps to check, everybody need a check. Everybody need a check. So if you don't want your partner to check you, you are not ready to marry, because somebody must be checking you, what you're doing. We all go out of limits most of the time. So having a joint finance, it helps. That is why some people don't really know that their husband is cheating or is spending money where he shouldn't spend money, going to club, having girlfriends, sending money out and all those stuff. Because if they have a joint finance, you actually know where the money is going to, where their love is, their treasure.
My